Okay, how can somebody start?
Okay, it's the usual question again. We go back to why. All right. So how is very easy. I mean, get an old telephone book and the yellow pages, which used to exist 20 years ago, and have a look at all the sections. There's thousands of sections, and circle anything that's possible that you might want to do. I mean, obviously you can't be a brain surgeon unless you, I mean, you can try it, but there's not too many volunteers out there who'll go, oh yeah, I'll give it a shot. So what you do is you basically circle hundreds of different businesses that are in there, and then you write them down and sort of say, okay, let's see which ones I might be able to do, or might suit my character, or what I like to do. So that's the very easiest way of finding, a business that you can do, or two or three of them, and narrow it down to one. Going back to why, that's what your fuel is. That's what's going to get you excited. If you've got 15, 20 goals besides the normal ones, that will give you the energy to make sure that you're doing everything you need to do. And when you fail, it'll still give you the energy to just keep going on with it. The challenges also you'll face is with friends, family, partners, all sorts of things. You have to be strong enough that your goals will carry you through those times. Very rarely that somebody start a business and then all of a sudden, within a week, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's years and years and years. I remember Michael Caine, the actor, when everybody was congratulating him, what a superstar he is, an overnight success. He was 20 years in films and theatre before he actually got a break. I think it was called Zulu. That was his first break. So everybody sees it as an overnight success. Well, it's not. So there's lots of persistence that you need to do with doing it. So once again, I always recommend to people the why. Write down all the reasons. Write down all your goals. Read them in the morning and at night for a week. At the end of the week, really look at them and say, okay, which ones am I really serious about? And then how much commitment am I going to do over the next 10, 15, 20 years to get into a business or get into some sort of income stream that's going to allow you to achieve that. So all those goals have to be pushing you all the time. Lately I've been using an analogy where mum and dad bird end up making a little nest, and they've got one egg, and they're very proud of that egg. And so what happens there is that when the baby hatches, the mum and dad go, okay, we'll go and get a couple of worms, And so then dad has a break for an hour, mum goes off, gets a couple of worms, has a break for an hour, bit of a nap, whatever it may be. The little nest next to him, the mother bird has 10 eggs, 10 hatched. All of a sudden, they've got to go backwards and forwards every half an hour with dozens of worms all day, all night long. So that's the difference. You need to have those goals that you're constantly feeding. The analogy is you need to have 10 little birds that you're constantly feeding, and you have to. So you have to put yourself in a position where you have to achieve those goals. That's what you want to do. If you want to do 50 houses in Bangladesh for the poor, or whatever your drives are, right, you have to just keep pushing.
What do you think? Which goals would make that inner drive the best, the strongest?
Yeah, everybody's got different experiences. Everybody's got different situations in their life. So some people want to help. I had a lady. I remember she wanted, when we were doing some business coaching, she wanted a red Ferrari. And I said to her, okay, what's the main reason? What's your drive? She said, my ex-husband, who wasn't a nice person, always wanted a red Ferrari. And I just want to prove to him that I can buy one. So that's going to give her that strength, okay? Because that's her determination. She's got lots of others, but I just picked on that one. So she will achieve that because she has to. It's just like, so everybody's got different things. A child might want to go into space because they saw Star Trek, so they need $250,000 to go up into space now for 10 minutes and come back down. that's fine. The thing is, if that's your main goal and you've got lots of other ones, you have to achieve a certain amount of success to get there. But in the meantime, you've learnt, it could take you 10, 15 years. In that 10, 15 years, you've learnt a lot of things, okay? Because you have to, because that's one of your big goals. You can't just jump, from little goals to, making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or millions of dollars a year. And also you've got to make them realistically. I remember screwing up one of my goals where bought a house, my mortgage was $280 a week, my income was $238, so I was $42 behind. So what happened there was on the weekends I would do my business and bits and pieces, and my goal was to pay off an extra $1,000 a month over 30 months, many years ago. And so I set my goal at 3 months for $3,000 after bills and bits and pieces. So got it on the last day. I sold a Kirby vacuum cleaner on the last day, and I got, yes, I did it. And so then I jumped from $3,000 to a brand new Mercedes for 3 months. And because I was so confident and I was just read about everything and I knew blah, 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 I went, it's okay, I'll start tomorrow. Yeah, so I didn't actually start till 2 months into the 3-month goal for a new Mercedes. Obviously I didn't get the new Mercedes, okay? Because instead of jumping from $3,000 to maybe $3,500 or those little baby steps as you go along, I sort of went, yeah, I've done this, now I'm going to go here. So, but at the end of the story, at the end of the day, what you need to do is have whatever you're passionate about, but have lots of them. Because sometimes for a month you might not be able to do something, it could be for that goal. So you have to have lots of those little baby birds that you're constantly feeding, and then you'll have the strength to do it, because they've got to be fed,